Currency conversions. Learning intentions. Use exchange rates to convert between currencies, both directions. Calculate and interpret service, charges or commission on currency exchange. Work backwards from a final amount to find a missing fee and round to the nearest cent. Success criteria I can. Convert between euro and dollars using the given rate and correct units. Find the amount before fees and compare with the amount received to get the charge. Show clear steps and round money to 2 decimal places. Estimate to check my answer is reasonable. Currency conversions. Exchange rates for different currencies are displayed in all banks. To sell dollars, the euro-dollar rate may be written as €1 equals $1.15. Therefore, €100 will buy you $115. A bank will sell and buy the same currency at different rates. At an exchange rate of €1 equals $1.15, $1.15 equals €1. Therefore, $1 equals 1 divided by 1.15, which is €0.87, is the euro value for $1. However, to buy dollars from you, the dollar-euro rate might be $1 equals 84 cents. The bank earns money by giving you less for each dollar when it is returned. As well as the difference in the exchange rates, the banks will also charge a commission for each transaction. So, for example, we sell foreign currency. €1 equals $1.15. €1 equals 89p in sterling. We buy foreign currency. $1 equals 84 cents in euro, and £1 equals €1.14. Example: a US visitor exchanged $2,000 for euro when the exchange rate was €1 equals $1.36. A charge was made for this service. If the person received €1,444.20, calculate the charge in euro. So €1 is equal to $1.36. We got that from the question. We want to figure out how many euro is equal to $2,000. We start off by changing $1.36 to $1. And then once we know what $1 is equal to in euro, we can simply multiply by 2,000 to work out $2,000. So how does 1.36 become 1? How does anything become 1? We divide by itself. So we divide 1.36 by 1.36, and what we do to the right, we do to the left. So we divide 1 by 1.36. That gives us 25/34. You can just leave it as a fraction because that's not our final answer. And then to go from 1 to 2,000, we multiply by 2,000. So we do the same on the left. What we do to the right, we do to the left. And we get €1,470.59. Therefore, the visitor gets €1,470.59 for $2,000. So now we need to figure out what the charge was. So they actually received €1,444.20. So we got that from the question highlighted in green. So if we subtract, we will figure out what the charge was. So 26.39. Therefore, the charge is €26.39. Example 2. If €1 is equal to $1.32, part 1, what is the equivalent in euro of $1,800? And part 2, what is the equivalent in dollars of €2,800? So part 1, €1 is equal to $1.32. We want to know how many euro is equal to $1,800. So just like the last example, we're going to figure out what $1 is. And then when we know what $1 is equal to in euro, we can just multiply by 1,800 to get what $1,800 is equal to in euro. So again, how do we go from 1.32 to 1? How do we make anything become 1? We divide by itself. So we divide 1.32 by 1.32. And what we do to the right, we do to the left. And 1 divided by 1.32 gives us 25 over 33. So again, you can just leave it as a fraction because it's not our final answer. So then to go from 1 to 1,800, we're going to multiply by 1,800. And what we do to the right, we do to the left. And we get €1,363.64. Therefore, €1,363.64 is equivalent to $1,800. Now, part 2, what is the equivalent in dollars of €2,800? So we have €1 equals $1.32, and we want to know what €2,800 is in dollars. So this time we don't actually have to make anything become 1 because we already have our units in 1. So we already have €1. So all we have to do is jump straight from €1 to 2,800. So all we have to do is multiply by 2,800. So we only have one step to do here in this question instead of 2 steps like the previous question. So multiplying on the left by 2,800 and then multiplying on the right by 2,800 gives us $3,696. Therefore, $3,696 is equivalent to €2,800. On a visit to Ireland, a US tourist changed $3,000 to euro when the rate was €1 equals $1.36. How much in euro did she receive if the Exchange Bureau charged 2.5% commission? So we start off with the exchange rate. So €1 equals $1.36. We want to know how many euro is equal to $3,000. So we can't jump straight from 1.36 to 3,000. We have to go to 1 first. So how does anything become 1? We divide by itself. So dividing by 1.36 on the right and dividing by 1.36 on the left. So we get 25 over 34. So we can just leave that as it is because we're not finished. We're going to multiply now. So how does 1 become 3,000? We multiply by 3,000. So what we do to the right, we do to the left. And multiplying by 3,000 gives us €2,205.88. So now we have to get 2.5% of €2,205.88, and of means multiply in maths. So 2.25% multiplied by 2,205.88 gives us €55.15. So we're going to subtract. So 2,205.88 minus the 55.15 leaves us with €2,150.73. So the tourist receives €2,150.73.